Hello guys, a very good evening to all of you. Welcome back. So I hope I'm clearly audible and visible to all of you. So quickly join in so that we can start our today's discussion. All right. So today we are going to practice or revise our final module from BFM, which is all about module D, right? So everyone quickly join in. और कैसे हैं सब लोग? So we have Alok sir here, Sunil sir, Ajitesh sir, and Shubham sir. Very good evening to all of you guys. कैसे हैं सब लोग? Reached home or not? So we have done with all three modules. So today we will be doing module D. Then we will be doing one comprehensive marathon for the numericals for from all the four module, right? So shall we start, guys? Shall we start our today's discussion? All good. Audio and video is fine from my side. Audio video perfect है. So when it comes to module D, which is all about balance sheet management. So here we have balance sheet management, which include areas like component of assets and liabilities in bank balance sheet. So section 29 of BR Act, Banking Regulation Act 1949. So according to this particular act, banking companies in India, they have to prepare their final accounts, which include Form A, per forma balance sheet, Form B, per forma profit and loss account. Total we have 18 schedules. Out of 18 schedules, 12 schedules which generally belongs to your balance sheet, right? Then we have capital adequacy, Basel norms, module B revision. Then we have non-performing assets and asset classification, one case study for sure based on this particular one. Then we have liquidity management, again module B, interest rate risk management, reference to module B. Then finally we have RAROC and profit planning, right? So let's start the discussion with very first unit, आपका component of asset and liabilities in bank balance sheet. So when it comes to this particular unit, basically it is all about, I hope you guys are aware about this particular one. ये आपने JIV में भी पढ़ा होगा, ठीक है? So section 29 of BR Act, Banking Regulation Act, which generally govern the we have RA provisions regarding the preparation of final accounts. So as per this particular section, we have two major areas. Third schedule of BR Act, Form A, which is per forma balance sheet, where we have 12 schedule, and which is related to balance sheet assets and liabilities. Then we have Form B, which is all about your profit and loss account, right? So profit and loss account. So basically here, when it comes to this profit and loss account, 13 and 14, which is interest income and other income of the bank, 15 and 16 expenses, interest expense आपका 15, and 16th is basically operating expenses and other expenses also. Then we have 17 profit and loss account, and 18th one is आपका note to accounts, right? So this is all about the areas which are generally part of your balance sheet. So when it comes to the basic introduction, तो balance sheet आपका दो चीज़ों को रिप्रेजेंट कर रही होती है. वन इज सोर्सेज ऑफ फंड्स. तो लाइबिलिटी साइड, जो भी बैलेंस शीट की लाइबिलिटी साइड है, ठीक है, वो सोर्स आपके होते हैं, ठीक है, फ्रॉम विच सोर्सेज बैंक इज गेटिंग मनी, जैसे कैपिटल एंड रिजर्व, दीज आर द इंटरनल सोर्सेज. डिपॉजिट, बोरोविंग्स एंड अदर लाइबिलिटीज मोस्टली आपका एक्सटर्नल सोर्सेज, राइट? तो दीज आर द सोर्सेज ऑफ फंड्स. एप्लीकेशन ऑफ फंड्स, ऑल द एसेट्स क्रिएटेड बाय बैंक, कि कहाँ पे हम उनको आपका यूटिलाइज करें, दैट इज जनरली पार्ट ऑफ दिस वन, ठीक है? तो बेसिकली दिस इज द आपका फॉर्मेट फॉर योर एंटायर बैलेंस शीट एंड प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट. सो थर्ड शेड्यूल, फॉर्म ए, परफॉर्मा बैलेंस शीट 31st March 2025, let's say. So we have 5 schedule which are generally part of your capital and liabilities, which include capital, first आपका, second schedule which is reserve and surplus, then minorities interest 2A, then we have deposits, then we have borrowings, other liabilities. When it comes to the asset size, so asset size आपका, asset side we have schedule 6, which is all about cash and balances with RBI. Seventh one is balances with bank and money at call and short notice. Call notice which is receivable overnight, and short notice आपका which is receivable आपका within आपका 14 days, right? Then we have the next one, 8th आपका investment, 9th is advances, 10th is fixed asset, 11th is other asset, and 12th is your contingent liabilities. So this is the balance sheet format in everything. When it comes to the profit and loss account, form B, again this is the schedule. If you open balance sheet and profit and loss account of any banking company in India, you will see the same sequence or the format as well, right? When it comes to income side, the income mein we have interest income and other income 13 and 14. Expenses आपका we have interest expended 15, and we have operating expenses 16. 17 is all about your profit and loss account and appropriation. Then just after this we prepare your आपका note to accounts. Note to accounts is something like, let's say in investment we are showing held for maturity, held for trade, तो उनका जो फर्दर बाइफर्केशन है या उनके ऊपर जो एक्सप्लेनेशन है, दैट जनरली कम्स अंडर द नोट टू अकाउंट्स. ठीक है, सो दिस इज द फॉर्मेट विच यू विल सी व्हेनेवर यू विल प्रिपेयर फॉर और यू विल गो थ्रू बैलेंस शीट एंड प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट ऑफ एनी बैंकिंग कंपनी. तो ये एक बार जरूर रिवाइज कीजिएगा, बिकॉज you'll definitely see 1 or 2 question. Mostly it is for half marks or 1 marks, but it will be part of your examination. Okay, how, like as a banker, so how, what should be your understanding around that particular one, how we should make analysis about the banking company balance sheet, the positive areas or the weak areas, what comes under the investments and others, they generally part of this one. So here we have given the आपका ओवरऑल बाइफर्केशन ऑल्सो, राइट. चलो अब हम लोग स्टार्ट करते हैं प्रैक्टिस के साथ. तो फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन ऑन योर स्क्रीन, सो क्विकली गो थ्रू द क्वेश्चन एंड ट्राई टू आंसर दिस वन. तो फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन, व्हाट विल बी योर करेक्ट आंसर गाइज? So first question on your screen, and you have to find out the correct statement. एवरीवन ट्राई आंसर कीजिए, थोड़ा सा इंटरेक्ट कीजिए, ऐसी भी क्या नाराज़गी है. चलो तो फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन देखो, मैराथन सेशन में एटलीस्ट आपका पार्टिसिपेशन बहुत ज़रूरी होता है. सो विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट आर करेक्ट इन द कॉन्टेक्स्ट ऑफ ALM, एसेट लाइबिलिटी मैनेजमेंट एंड बैंक बैलेंस शीट components. तो द वेरी फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट इज ALM involve only the short-term liquidity management of bank, not linked to long-term strategic planning. Wrong है. Second statement is ALCO, Asset Liability Committee in bank, significant authority to influence the institution's asset liability structure and business alignment. Banking Regulation Act 1949, commercial bank must prepare their balance sheet and profit and loss account in the format prescribed in the third schedule. Third schedule आपका section 29 which we have gone through just now. ठीक है, जो अभी मैंने आपको दिखाया था, that is the one. So that is part of the third schedule. तो 2 and 3 means option B should be right answer for this particular question. Correct है? Yes, हाँ, very good. Sunil sir, Namrata ma'am. So when it comes to ALM, is not limited to short term liquidity, but it is आपका both short term and long term both. Next one. So a commercial bank, ABC Bank Limited, has recently published its annual balance sheet, and you are asked with reviewing key classification under the RBI norms. Based on the summary below, identify which of the following statement correct with respect to regulatory classification of assets and liabilities. तो बैंक के डेटाज आर दीज. ठीक है, सो यहाँ पे आपको एसेट्स एंड लाइबिलिटीज़ का बाइफर्केशन देना है. विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट्स आर करेक्ट. तो व्हाट विल बी योर करेक्ट आंसर? सो ये क्वेश्चन आपका 2 पार्ट्स में आपको मिलेगा. ठीक है, तो फर्स्ट 3 स्टेटमेंट, देन आपका रिमेनिंग 2 स्टेटमेंट. So 1200 crores in share capital and reserve, comprising statutory reserve and retained earning. So 1200 crore rupees आपका basically the money which is contributed by owners and the another one is the profit which they generally have earned from the past, which is called your आपका retained earning, and statutory reserve is also there. Second one is second statement आपका 3500 crores in in deposit, including 2000 crores in overdue term deposit. Then 1800 crores borrowed from NABARD for rural refinance, and 500 crores from RBI under LAF. 4000 crore bills payables, including banker's check and telegraphic transfer. 20,000 crore invested in SLR eligible government securities, and 2,000 crore in listed debentures. 28,000 crores extended as advances, of which 8,000 crores are secured by tangible asset, 2,000 crores are covered under the government guarantee and all. The first statement, what will be your correct answer for this one? The first statement, share capital and reserve fall under the capital and surplus, which are long term sources of funds forming part of liabilities. आपका liability side रहेगा, true है. Second statement, your first one is आपका true. Sunil sir, first statement is also correct. So this is comes under the liability side, reserve and surplus, capital, reserve and surplus. So it is capital and reserve. यहाँ पे clearly mention भी है. Borrowings from NABARD are treated liabilities. बिल्कुल सही है. It is आपका domestic sources. ठीक है. So bank can borrow from domestic as well as international. Domestic sources are further categorized: borrowing from RBI, borrowing from other bank, and borrowing from DFIs, institutions आपका. So this is borrowing from NABARD is DFI, other institutions आपका. ठीक है. That is the one. Third one, advances secured by bank और गवर्नमेंट गारंटी आर टू बी रिपोर्टेड अंडर सिक्योर्ड एडवांसेस 3. तो ये सभी आपका करेक्ट है. ठीक है. ऑप्शन डी शुड बी राइट आंसर फॉर दिस पर्टिकुलर वन. सो ऑप्शन डी शुड बी राइट आंसर फॉर दिस पर्टिकुलर वन. करेक्ट है. तो सारे ही आपका करेक्टली मेंशन है. द अनदर वन, ओके, सब आपका एवरी वन इज गोइंग इन डिफरेंट. नो, सेकेंड वन इज ऑल्सो करेक्ट. ठीक है. नम्रता मैम, दिस इज वी हैव डिस्कस कि जहाँ पे देखो, when it comes to borrowings of bank, borrowings can be further categorized between two, domestic and international, and domestic borrowings is further categorized among three part. तीन part कौन कौन से आपका? First one is आपका domestic borrowing from RBI, second one borrowing from other bank, and third one is borrowing from institutions which include DFIs, जैसे यहाँ पे आपका NABARD है. Same question, two other statements आपका. So all investment made in debenture are part of bank advances head in the balance sheet. तो अब ये अगला जो स्टेटमेंट है ये क्या बोल रहा है कि जो भी जितने भी इन्वेस्टमेंट्स हमारे हैं वो सब आपका किस डिवेंचर्स के अंदर जितने भी इन्वेस्टमेंट्स हैं इट विल कम अंडर द एडवांसेस. दूसरा, ओवर ड्यू टर्म डिपॉजिट मस्ट बी एक्सक्लूडेड फ्रॉम टोटल डिपॉजिट इन द लाइबिलिटी सेक्शन आपका. तो क्या होगा करेक्ट आंसर फॉर दिस क्वेश्चन? The remaining आपका two statement basically, what will be your correct answer? So both the statements are wrong here, right? So first one, investment है, debenture will come under the head of investment, and this will come under the you cannot exclude that one. Overall, this you cannot exclude that particular, that will be included in total deposit. So both the statement wrong means option D should be right answer for this particular question. Correct hai? Any doubt on this particular one? If you are having any doubt, please do let me know so I can help you out with this. Chalo, next one. ABC Bank is preparing its profit and loss account for the financial year. The following are the financial activities recorded during the year. As a bank analyst determine under which head each of the income will be classified in the profit and loss account. अब पहला question was part of the your balance sheet. Now this question belongs to your profit and loss account. Again two parts में करेंगे, space का issue है. तो which of the following combination correctly categorize the entries in the appropriate head of the bank profit and loss account? तो फर्स्ट वन इज 50 crore rupees received as interest on term a loan and overdraft facility. तो ये कौन सा शेड्यूल हो जाएगा आपका 13, इंटरेस्ट इनकम आपका 13. द सेकेंड वन इज योर 5 crore earn as brokerage on sale government securities. This will be other income आपका 14, schedule 14. Then 2 crore received from money market placement and interest on RBI balances. So this will also come under 13. 4 crore on revaluation of STM, held for maturity, held to maturity investment securities, investment income set again. So this should be come under the held to maturity. So आपका हाँ बिल्कुल balances with others and other up and the head will be your 14 only. This will be 14. 1 crore as recovery from the defaulting customers toward the insurance and go down rents, contingent liabilities. तो again आपका सॉरी मैं कुछ गड़बड़ कर रहा हूँ. प्रॉफिट रिवैल्यूएशन रिकवरी आपका हाँ अगेन 14 will be right answer for this particular one. Now interest income, first one is interest income. आपका first one is interest income, interest discount on advances. तो first one is 100% correct है, ठीक है. So first one आपका correct रहेगा यहाँ पे. Second one is when it comes to the second one, other income, commission, exchange of brokers and others 14 में है, बिल्कुल सही है ये भी. Third one, interest income, interest on balances with RBI and other interbank funds आपका, ठीक है. So हाँ this is also correctly mentioned. Interest income, this third one is 2 crore rupees and this हाँ interest income है, बिल्कुल correct है, ठीक है. 13 आपका again. तो what will be your correct answer for this one? All are correct in this particular situation. Correct है Sai Kiran? Yes. तो D will be right answer. तो all are correctly placed in this particular one. समझ में आ रहा है आपको ये क्वेश्चन? बेसिकली व्हाट आई हैव शोन यू, अभी जो हमने डिस्कस किया था ना, ये उसी के ऊपर आपका क्वेश्चंस बने हुए हैं. जैसे अदर्स आपका द सेकेंड वन, द नेक्स्ट टू आपका अदर इनकम मीन्स व्हेन इट कम्स टू द नेक्स्ट टू वन बेसिकली विच आर जनरली पार्ट ऑफ, हमने क्या लिखा था यहाँ पे 14 बिल्कुल दोनों ही क्या है आपका अदर इनकम है. नेक्स्ट वन इज आपका दीज टू स्टेटमेंट आपका दिस एंड दिस, दे आर शेड्यूल 14. शेड्यूल 14 का मतलब है अदर इनकम. सो अगेन दैट इज करेक्ट. सो बोथ द स्टेटमेंट्स आर राइट हियर. सो ऑप्शन सी शुड बी करेक्ट आंसर फॉर दिस वन. तो आपको ना शेड्यूल को थोड़ा सा समझना है, ठीक है. तो शेड्यूल 13 आपका इंटरेस्ट इनकम ऑफ द बैंक एंड व्हेन इट कम्स टू 14 इट इज़ अदर इनकम ऑफ द बैंक. देन एक्सपेंसेस साइड में अगर हम देखते हैं तो आपका 15 इज interest expenses or interest paid by the bank. Then we have 16 which is your interest expenses हो गया. 16 is आपका operating expenses, ठीक है. operating expenses that generally comes under this one. तो this is the bifurcation. We have only 4 schedule, these 2 for income and these 2 for the expenses itself, right? चलो next one. Understood? Namrata ma'am and Sunil sir and other also. If you guys having any doubt, please do let me know. So you just have to make your understanding around the balance sheet and profit and loss account of the bank itself. Which of the following statement regarding the classification of bank expenses are correct? Classification of bank expenses are correct. So you have to find out the correct statement in this particular situation. नहीं डरना नहीं है, ठीक है नम्रता मैम, डरना नहीं है, हो जाएगा. बस यू जस्ट हैव टू, कॉन्सेप्ट इज़ योर अटमोस्ट प्रायोरिटी. फोकस जितना कॉन्सेप्ट पे करेंगे बिकॉज एवरीथिंग विल अलाइन विद द कॉन्सेप्ट पार्ट, कॉन्सेप्ट साइड आपका. तो कॉन्सेप्ट पे जितना ज़्यादा क्लियरिटी रखेंगे उतना ज़्यादा ये सब्जेक्ट आपको सही मतलब मार्क्स देने में हेल्प करेगा. तो फर्स्ट आपका इंटरेस्ट पेड ऑन पार्टिसिपेशन paid on participation certificates and penal interest are included in other interest इंटरेस्ट ऑन डिपॉजिट, नो, इंटरेस्ट ऑन डिपॉजिट के अंदर आपका ये नहीं आता है, ठीक है. इट इज़ आपका, इट कम्स अंडर द अदर्स, इट कम्स अंडर द अदर्स, नॉट आपका इंटरेस्ट ऑन डिपॉजिट. एडवर्टीजमेंट, पब्लिसिटी चार्जेस एंड रिलेटेड एक्सपेंसेस ऑपरेटिंग एक्सपेंसेस हैं, बिल्कुल करेक्ट है. Provision for bad debts and taxation are not considered part of operating expenses, but are classified under provision and contingencies. Yes, बिल्कुल correct है. So 2 and 3. Do we have 2 and 3? Yes. Option B will be right answer for this particular question. ठीक है. So first one was incorrect. Interest on participation certificates and आपका penal interest are categorized under others, not under this particular one. Rest all are correct here in this particular situation. Next one, guys. Which of the following statement regarding asset liability management in bank are correct? ALM in bank are correct. So now the next statement is आपका ALM and you have to find out the correct statement. So first आपका ALM involve only the management of liabilities to ensure bank can meet withdrawal demands and maintain liquidity. Only the management of liabilities. No, it is both आपका assets and liabilities. ALM focus on matching maturity profile of asset and liabilities to manage interest rate and liquidity risk, both correct है. ALM include decision on type and mix of both asset and liabilities aligning with bank profit objective. 2 and 3 means option B should be right answer for this particular one. Correct hai? Very good. Next one. A scheduled commercial bank in India undergoing strategic audit of ALM. The internal audit team flag the following issues during the financial year 24-25. So these are the flag आपका means kind of while they have done the audit they find some sort of discrepancies in these particular or these many areas, right? So quickly go through the statement first. Have you gone through that numerical wala PDF? Vikas sir, Namrata ma'am, Sunil sir, and other people also. So I have shared one formula one also, formula PDF, and another one is your aapka this the another one is one numerical, that numerical wala PDF PPT whatever it is. So I'll be discussing that one. ठीक है, तो जहाँ पे भी आपको दिक्कत आ रहा है ना, you can send me the screenshot also, ठीक है, or that question number and all. So I'll be keeping more question around that one. Day after tomorrow we'll be doing this one. Tonight I'll be traveling, so कल class नहीं होगा, तो कल आप revise कीजिएगा. So day after tomorrow we'll be doing one final revision around those particular. First we will be discussing numerical portion only, right? तो first आपका and okay, first nearly 48% of liabilities are maturing in next 9 months. 14% of asset mature in the same period. तो इनकी liabilities mature हो रही हैं 48%, ठीक है, and आपका let's in time bucket is time zone is 9 months and we are only आपका 14%. तो यहाँ पे they'll be having some funding gap. The bank had recently introduced flexi deposit product aggressively, allowing customer to auto sweep ideal balances from saving to term deposit and vice versa. An unexpected 25 basis point cut in interest rate by RBI has led to decline in return on fixed rate loan portfolios, which while the cost of some floating rate deposit has no reduced proportionally. तो यहाँ पे भी इनको दिक्कत होगा, ठीक है. The audit also found nearly 25% of borrowers has exercised prepayment option, that embedded option जिसको हम बोलते हैं, while 15% of depositors opted premature withdrawal. अब यहाँ पे भी गड़बड़ हो रहा है, ठीक है. So 25% आपका एक्सरसाइज प्री पेमेंट्स ऑप्शंस, 50 बोरोवर्स आपका मीन जो लोन हमने क्रिएट किए थे, एंड दूसरी तरफ आपका द डिपॉजिटर्स दे आर ऑल्सो गोइंग फॉर द प्रीमेच्योर 15%. तो ये दिस विल ऑल्सो क्रिएट सम सॉर्ट ऑफ लिक्विडिटी स्ट्रेस. Despite the above, the bank management continues to focus on credit growth and retail deposit mobilization. They are creating asset without dedicated ALM monitoring committee itself. So you guys are suggesting option D should be right answer for this one. Okay, let's go through the question. Second, the remaining second part of this question we'll discuss after this. So liquidity risk due to maturity mismatch between asset and liabilities. First case आपका, this is the first case. Second case आपका reinvestment and refinancing risk arising from embedded option exercised by the customer. आपका बिल्कुल सही है ये भी, ठीक है. Interest rate risk affecting NIM due to market rate volatility. Yes, बिल्कुल सही, 100% true हैं आप लोग, ठीक है. So D will be right answer for this particular question. Correct है, ठीक है. आगे बढ़ते हैं. देन नेक्स्ट वन, विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट इज करेक्ट. सेकंड क्वेश्चन, हाँ डी. नेक्स्ट सेकंड क्वेश्चन आपका, नेक्स्ट वन. Second one. So the correct statements about ALM. ALM focus solely on matching maturity profile of asset and liabilities, avoid liquidity. तो clear cut wrong है. A key objective of ALM at macro level is to support product pricing strategies and capital allocation. NIM calculated by subtracting interest rate expenses from the interest income. बताओ थर्ड स्टेटमेंट क्या है? इनकरेक्ट है, बिल्कुल सही, ठीक है. थर्ड स्टेटमेंट विल बी इनकरेक्ट. हाउ वी कैलकुलेट NIM? सो NIM इज इक्वल टू NII नेट इंटरेस्ट इनकम डिवाइड बाय एवरेज एसेट्स आपका, ठीक है, एवरेज एसेट्स. तो ये हमारा फॉर्मूला होता है किसके लिए? NIM के लिए. तो ओनली टू मीन्स ऑप्शन सी. विकास सर भूल गए NIM का फॉर्मूला. तो NIM इज इक्वल टू NII. NII हम कैसे कैलकुलेट करते हैं? NII इज इक्वल टू आपका इनफ्लो आपका इंटरेस्ट इनफ्लो माइनस इंटरेस्ट आउटफ्लो, राइट. सो दैट इज द वन. ये नहीं भूलना है, बहुत छोटी छोटी चीज़ें हैं, ठीक है. सो दिस इज द वन एंड दिस इज, हाँ, ओनली दीपक से मार्क द करेक्ट आंसर आई गेस. सो ऑप्शन सी शुड बी राइट आंसर फॉर दिस पर्टिकुलर वन. याद रहेगा. तो द फॉर्मूला इज NII आपका, सो बेसिकली NII डिवाइड बाय एवरेज एसेट, NII डिवाइड बाय एवरेज एसेट, राइट. सो हियर एंड the first statement was incorrect because this is आपका, this was easy manageable, right. next one, आगे बढ़ते हैं. You are part of ALCO Asset Liability Committee in Schedule Commercial Bank and reviewing the bank current ALM strategy following observation. तो पहले observation को पढ़ लेते हैं. 5 आपका, best aligned with the objective of coordinated balance sheet management under ALM. अब आइए इस पे. तो पहला आपका bank liquidity buffer are failing below internal threshold due to aggressive loan dispersal. Large chunk of investment is locked in low yield long term securities while short term liabilities are mounting. Interest income has increased due to higher loan dispersal, but net profit is significant due to straightening due to a rise in non-interest expenses and provisioning. Bank service fee income remained flat across quarter. Tier 1 capital of adequacy, Tier 1 capital adequacy has dropped marginally following increased risk in this particular one. So now based on this, so first, improved spread management by optimizing interest margin through repricing of loan and liabilities. Okay. Improve spread management by optimizing interest margin or repricing this. A bank liquidity buffer in this. A large chunk आपका in this interest income increase due to this. Okay. हाँ, this can be done in this in this scenario आपका, we can do it, right? हाँ, बिल्कुल किया जा सकता है. सेकेंड वन, आपका एड्रेस इन्वेस्टमेंट सिक्योरिटी मिसमैच बाय रीस्ट्रक्चरिंग इन्वेस्टमेंट पोर्टफोलियो टू अलाइन एसेट लाइबिलिटी. इन्वेस्टमेंट सिक्योरिटी मिसमैच, higher loan dispersal but not this, the bank is free remains in capital. So the second one also should be correct in this case. Generate non-interest revenue by आपका revising service charge, मतलब basically the suggestions what we can do. So generate non-interest revenue by revising service charges and introducing new fee-based product आपका to deal with आपका this third problem and all, right? So all should be right answer for this particular question. Yes, next one same question आपका, remaining 2 pointers. The for the remaining 2 problems, initiate cost cutting measure, focus on non-interest operating expenses to improve the margin. Service fee income in this. Bank adequacy, drop this. So infuse fresh equity capital and reduce exposure. High corporate loans to reduce the capital. These two also आपका right suggestion. तो C should be right answer for this particular one. Correct है? C होगा ना इसके लिए भी, क्योंकि ये दोनों भी हमारे सही measure और सही suggestion होंगे in this particular case. Correct? तो basically the suggestion which we can provide to the bank itself. Okay? चलो. Now next one, capital adequacy. So capital is adequacy and Basel norms. So now you can see here. अब यहाँ पे देखो, इट इज़ अ कंप्लीट आपका पिलर 1, पिलर 2, पिलर 3, बेसल 3 आपका, बेसल 3 एंड उसके तीनों पिलर्स, ऑल द 3 पिलर्स. तो मिनिमम कैपिटल रिक्वायरमेंट्स मॉड्यूल बी, मतलब ये टॉपिक 100% आपका मॉड्यूल बी से अलाइंड है. देन वी हैव पिलर 2 सुपरवाइजरी रिव्यू प्रोसेस, एंड देन वी हैव आपका मार्केट डिसिप्लिन. तो व्हेन इट कम्स टू all these areas, so pillar 1 which is minimum capital requirements, which include आपका overall capital, आपका CET1 and 2, capital for credit risk, market risk and operational risk. Supervisory review process where we have 4 principles, and when it comes to pillar 3 आपका, which is all about the market discipline, how we are managing all these particular one, right? So let's directly start with the question. No, आपका AJ, you do not have to consider the negative years in that case. So basically we आपका take the 3 years, only positive, हाँ, only positive years you have to take, 80 crores आपका, and it is for 3 years. हाँ, first of all we take the आपका 3 years data आपका. So 3 years and on 3 years, let's say out of 3 years आपका there is 1 year which is in negative, so you have to eliminate that particular one from the numerator and as well as denominator, right? So you will be like, it is another year you have to add in this particular case, like let's say 50 crores, 80 crores and minus 30 crores. So 80 and 50, these two figures you will take, divide by 2, that will end into 15% in that case. Easy? You got this particular one? So which of the following statement are correct in the context of revised Basel framework and implementation in India? So the revised Basel framework is structured around 3 pillars. Pillar 3, with pillar 3 aimed at ensuring capital adequacy by using internal rating model and stress testing. No, it is आपका क्या था? Pillar 3 is all about आपका market discipline, not about this. Second one is pillar 2, supervisory review process required bank to consider risk not fully captured or not fully or not at all covered under pillar 1. Yes, pillar 2 का motive was the same. Pillar 3, under Basel norms in India, commercial bank are required to use foundation internal rating based approach, basically an approach and advanced measurement approach फॉर द ऑपरेशनल रिस्क. कौन सा था आपका? BIA. ठीक है, स्टैंडर्डाइज अप्रोच आपका था, स्टैंडर्डाइज अप्रोच एंड आपका वी अलाउ टू स्टैंडर्डाइज अप्रोच प्लस BIA. ठीक है, बेसिक इंडिकेटर अप्रोच. तो ये दीज टू आर अलाउड, तो दिस इज ऑल्सो रॉन्ग. तो टू, ओनली टू मीन्स ऑप्शन बी. वेरी गुड नम्रता मैम. सो ऑप्शन बी विल बी राइट आंसर फॉर दिस पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन. AJ, you got your answer? Or if you are having any doubt, please do let me know. Or any confusion, so I can help you out with that particular one. So a commercial bank XYZ Limited is assigning its capital adequacy position under Basel III on March 31st, 25. The following information is available. So tier 1 capital is 8,000 crores. Tier 2 capital is 6,000 crore. Subordinated debt included tier 2 is 4,500 crores. All above 5-year maturity. Revaluation reserve 1,000 crores. Capital requirement for credit आपका 1,200 crores. Capital requirement for market risk 3,000 crores. Capital requirement for operational risk आपका 400 crores. Investment fluctuation reserve 5,500 crores. Paid up equity capital in free reserve 90% of tier 1 capital. Bank follow Indian regulatory norms, means 9% of CRAR. Based on the above information, which of the following statement are correct regarding the capital adequacy and composition of XYZ bank under the pillar 3 guidelines? Alright. Okay, who raised hand? हाँ दीपक सर, कुछ कहना चाहते हैं आप? यू वांट टू से समथिंग? दीपक सर. ठीक है, आई गेस बाय मिस्टेक. चलो, नो वरीज. चलो स्टार्ट करते हैं अब. सो नाउ फर्स्ट रीड द क्वेश्चन पार्ट. विल कम टू द सेकेंड पार्ट ऑफ दिस क्वेश्चन. So first, the maximum permissible tier 2 capital is equal to tier 1 capital of 8,000 crore. This is rule based. हाँ, तो क्या होगा करेक्ट आंसर आपका? This is correct ना. So tier 2 capital can be 100% of tier 1 capital. So which is 8,000 crore. तो first statement is 100% true. Second statement आपका tier 3 capital can be considered while calculating market risk. अब देखो, एज पर द बेजल आपका 3 हमने क्या किया, इसको हटाया. ठीक है, सो हमने मतलब ये जो एडवांस रूल्स आपके थे, नम्रता मैम आई गेस यू मिस दिस पॉइंट. ठीक है, तो देखो हमने क्या किया था, जब बेजल 3 के जो प्रोविजंस आए तो वहाँ पे टीयर 3 कैपिटल का एबोलिशन हुआ. अब हम लोग जब टोटल कैपिटल कैलकुलेट करते हैं, टीयर 1 प्लस टीयर 2 कैपिटल डिवाइड बाय रिस्क वेट एसेट, आप इस तरीके से कैलकुलेशन करते हैं. तो दिस स्टेटमेंट अभी क्या करें, टीयर 3 कैपिटल कैन बी कंसिडर वाइल नो वी डू नॉट, दैट इज फेज्ड आउट इन पिलर 3 बेसल 3. आपका टोटल कैपिटल अवेलेबल फॉर एडिकेसी कंप्यूटेशन इज 14,000 करोड़. तो 14,000 करोड़ आपका टीयर 1 प्लस टीयर 2, बताओ कितना है? टीयर 1 प्लस टीयर 2 कितना है हमारे पास? टीयर 1 है हमारे पास 8,000 and this is 6,000. बिल्कुल सही है, 14,000 crores. So we have 14,000 crores in this particular case. So that is means this is also true. So 1 and 3 means option A will be right answer for this particular one. ठीक है, तो ये हमारा पहला क्वेश्चन. अब इसी के अगले क्वेश्चन में, अगले पार्ट में चलते हैं. नेक्स्ट वन, सॉरी क्वेश्चन चेंज होगा क्या? हाँ. Now please go through the next two question. Who raised hand? Deepak sir, you want to say something? हाँ दीपक सर, आप कॉल कर रहे हैं बार बार, कुछ है कहने क्या, बताइए। बाय मिस्टेक और व्हाट? अच्छा ओके। सर ने सेशन ही छोड़ दिया नहीं? चलो कोई बात नहीं। अभी चलो आते हैं हम लोग। आपका बच्चे होंगे साथ में पक्का ना कॉल करने के लिए? तो द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज सेम क्वेश्चन आपका बेसिकली। अब यहाँ पे कैलकुलेशन है रिस्क वेट एसेट का, ठीक है। सो रिस्क वेट एसेट आपका द टोटल रिस्क वेट एसेट 1200 करोड़, 12.50 इंटू आपका 300 करोड़। It is 1200 crores. We have 300 crores, 12.5 and 400 crores आपका ऑपरेशनल एंड इन्वेस्टमेंट फ्लक्चुएशन। ओके दैट इज मतलब हमारे पास क्रेडिट, ऑपरेशनल एंड दिस। तो टोटल आपका दिस इज ऑल्सो करेक्ट है, ठीक है, ये भी आपका सही होना चाहिए। एंड द सेकेंड वन इज okay, Deepak sir is saying option A for this one. Second one, CRAR of XYZ is the above of minimum requirement. CRAR कितना निकल के आ रहा है इसका? हाँ दिस इज मॉड्यूल डी ओनली प्रेम सर। प्रेम सर दिस इज मॉड्यूल डी ओनली, मॉड्यूल डी में भी है ये, ठीक है। मतलब मॉड्यूल सी बी में भी है ये और मॉड्यूल डी में भी है। सो हाँ दैट्स वाई आई ऑलवेज यूज टू से ना ए एंड बी इज समथिंग जो आपका सी एंड डी में रिवाइज होते हैं। तो दिस इज मॉड्यूल डी ओनली, वी आर गोइंग थ्रू मॉड्यूल डी ओनली प्रेम सर। दिस शुड बी ऑल्सो करेक्ट राइट, ये भी आपका करेक्ट होना चाहिए। कितना आ रहा है इसका CRAR आपका? सो 14,000 करोड़, 14,000 करोड़ डिवाइड बाय 9,000 आपका 950। तो कितना आता है इसका परसेंटेज इंटू 100 अगर आप करोगे तो कितना आ रहा है? आपका कितना निकल के आ रहा है? सो कैन समवन कैलकुलेट दिस? सो हाँ ये देख के ही पता चला है कि इट इज़ अबव देन आपका बेसिकली 130, 140 के आसपास। हाँ ओके यस हाँ। तो सर ने आपका लिखा 140% और समथिंग, ठीक है। तो सी विल बी राइट आंसर फॉर दिस पर्टिकुलर वन, करेक्ट है। सो इट इज़ 140.7, करेक्ट है। चलो नेक्स्ट वन गाइज, नेक्स्ट वन। So next one guys, which of the following statement regarding supervisory review process under Basel III framework are correct? तो basically मतलब point is कि if you have prepared module A and B very well, 70% of the syllabus is done. C and D आपका you have to basically practice through the मतलब you have to revise through practice. आज मेरे को किसी सर का कॉल भी आया था कि आपका सी को कंटिन्यू करना चाहिए कॉन्सेप्ट वाइज। तो अभी मेरा सजेशन नहीं होगा, ए और बी को बढ़िया से कॉन्सेप्ट वाइज देखिए, सी और डी को आप प्रैक्टिस के थ्रू रिवाइज कीजिए, राइट। तो मॉर्निंग में ही हमारा इस पर डिस्कशन चल रहा था। तो फर्स्ट आपका द कैपिटल एडिक्वेसी रेशियो प्रेस्क्राइब अंडर पिलर 1 कंसिडर सफिशिएंट टू कवर ऑल टाइप ऑफ रिस्क फेस। नहीं, तभी हमारे पास पिलर 2 है, दैट्स वाई वी कम अप विद पिलर 2 कि दोज रिस्क विच आर नॉट गेट कवर्ड अंडर पिलर 1, तो उनको डील करने के लिए वी हैव पिलर 2 आपका, राइट। सेकेंड वन इज जैसे ऑपरेशनल या अदर्स हैं सब। इंटरेस्ट रेट रिस्क इन द बैंकिंग बुक दो पार्ट ऑफ द मार्केट रिस्क may not fully captured under the regulatory CRAR, बिल्कुल सही, पिलर 2 है उसका सोल्यूशन। स्ट्रेटेजिक एंड रेपुटेशन रिस्क बोथ आर कंसिडर इक्विवेलेंट टू आपका ऑपरेशनल रिस्क अंडर सुपरवाइजरी रिव्यू प्रोसेस 2 and 3, ऑप्शन बी विल बी राइट आंसर फॉर दिस पर्टिकुलर वन, करेक्ट। सो ओनली कवर द रेगुलेटरी कैपिटल ऑफ क्रेडिट मार्केट एंड ऑपरेशनल रिस्क, फॉर रेस्ट we have this another one. दीपक सर आप कुछ कहना चाह रहे थे क्या? एक्चुअली सॉरी आई जस्ट कट योर कॉल, या फिर बच्चे कॉल कर रहे हैं? ऐसा होता है ना, बच्चों में क्यूरियोसिटी होती है कि बात करते हैं सर से। चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं। हाँ हाँ, आई अंडरस्टैंड। ये देखो मैंने बोला ना 100% बच्चे होंगे करके हैं। हाँ बिल्कुल, तो बच्चों से बात करेंगे सर लास्ट में, इनसे बोलिए आज उठे रहिए शाम तक। चलो बढ़िया। नो प्रॉब्लम नो प्रॉब्लम। नेक्स्ट वन, विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट्स correctly reflect the principle and the component of supervisory review process and internal capital adequacy assessment process as per the Basel आपका Basel capital adequacy framework. Okay, I'll just refresh it from my side. हाँ it is आपका blur. Just allow me 1 minute sir. हाँ, now it will be fine I guess. Now it is fine Sunil sir. हाँ now it is fine. The first statement आपका the Basel 2 and 3 framework expanded to scope of capital adequacy by including operational risk under pillar 1 which was not covered under the Basel 1. बिल्कुल सही है. Second statement is principle 1 of supervisory review process out of 4 principle. Bank are required to maintain capital only at the minimum regulatory level provided their internal risk assessment no. ठीक है, this is आपका above the minimum आपका regulatory level. It should be above the minimum regulatory levels आपका, right. Principle 4 of SRP empowers supervisor to mandate immediate corrective action if bank capital fall below the required level. So 1 in 3 means option A should be right answer for this particular one. Correct है. चलो नेक्स्ट वन गाइज. So correctly reflect the key feature and responsibility relating to ICAAP governance and integration. ये ICAAP I can bet कि you'll definitely see 1 question or 2 question. Mostly it will be around the applied question. ठीक है, ये आपका मॉड्यूल B के एंड का सब टॉपिक भी था और यहाँ पे ये टॉपिक का स्टार्ट ही है. ठीक है, यूनिट नंबर whatever it is 25 or 24 or 26. So every banking entity within a group must prepare ICAAP on a solo basis, but consolidation at group level is optional. No, it should be आपका both. It should be both आपका entity wise as well as group wise. ठीक है, integration also, so this should be wrong. Second statement, board of director must approve the structure of ICAAP to ensure it become part of the management culture. Senior management is responsible for submitting this. आपका कौन होता है? Board is responsible for आपका board is responsible for this, not the senior management, right? Only 2 means option C should be right answer for this particular question. Correct है? Next one. So true, you have to find out the correct statement regarding risk identification, internal control and MIS within ICAAP framework. Internal capital adequacy assessment process. It is similar to your, जैसे हमने बात किया था EWRM. ठीक है, एंटरप्राइज वाइड रिस्क मैनेजमेंट. तो EWRM इज समथिंग की अपार्ट फ्रॉम द रेगुलेटरी थिंग्स कि हाउ वी आर मैनेजिंग द ओवरऑल बैंक लेवल रिस्क एंड ऑल, तो वैसे ही फ्रेमवर्क में आपका कि जो असेसमेंट्स आपके हैं. ठीक है, सो वी आर क्रिएटिंग अ काइंड ऑफ इंटरनल tool so that we can efficiently manage the overall areas and all, right? तो क्या होगा करेक्ट आंसर? दीपक सर इज थिंग ऑप्शन ए. MIS should enable a proactive risk management by providing regular, accurate, and timely information on aggregate risk profile. Internal audit team may assist business line. No, it is audit का is always agenda is कि we are not doing any sort of conflict of interest, right? ये हमने ABM में भी समझा था. Risk management function should be independent of business line to ensure objectivity. 1 and 3 means option A will be right answer for this particular question. Correct है? Next one. A ही था ना? Yes. Option A is the right answer for this particular one. Correct है? Next one. Bharat sir, very very good evening. How are you? After long time I'm seeing your message. हाँ, पढ़ रहे हैं ना क्लासेस, वीडियोस आपका रिकॉर्डेड में देख रहे होंगे आई होप. और छोटे छोटे क्वेश्चंस पे अभी मत जाइएगा, मतलब प्रैक्टिस के लिए दैट इज़ फाइन. बट और देखो यहाँ पे ना अभी द गेम इज़ कम्प्लीटली चेंज. बिलीव मी 90% क्वेश्चन विल बी आपका स्टेटमेंट बेस्ड इन आप देखने के लिए मिलेंगे. यू विल हार्डली सी एनी स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड क्वेश्चन इन ऑल. तो थोड़ा सा उसी तरीके से अगर आप प्रैक्टिस में प्रिपरेशन में उनको रखेंगे तो एग्जामिनेशन में यू विल नॉट गेट एनी काइंड ऑफ सरप्राइजेज इन शॉक, राइट? तो अभी मतलब लाइक बिलीव मी गाइज, इन JIB दे डिड इट, CIB फॉर श्योर दे विल बी डूइंग दिस थिंग. ठीक है, तो CIB में मतलब जैसे आप लोग कई बार देखते होंगे ना यूट्यूब पे आते हैं छोटे छोटे क्वेश्चन आपका करा करके, वो दैट इज़ फाइन. मतलब आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि वो मतलब एक ख़राब चीज़ है. दैट इज़ ऑल्सो गुड प्रैक्टिस के लिए, रिवाइज के लिए, या छोटे छोटे कॉन्सेप्ट को बनाने के लिए. बट नाउ दिस इज़ द स्टेज आपका कि अब एग्ज़ाम वीक में हम लोग बैठे हुए हैं ना, तो यहाँ पे हमें मेंटली प्रिपेयर होना होगा ऐसे क्वेश्चंस के लिए. ओके 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 भरत सर, ठीक है. चलो, विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट करेक्टली related to structure, purpose and application of ICAAP documents as per the RBI guidelines. So first, ICAAP document must include an executive summary that compare bank internal capital assessment with minimum CRAR requirements under this one. 100% true. Yeah. They have to provide this executive summary by the senior management mostly आपका ये, and they have to submit it to आपका board कि हाँ we are aligned with the CRAR policies and others. ICAAP methodology can incorporate capital buffer based on strategic plan or credit rating objective. तो जहाँ जहाँ पे उनको लग रहा है कि हाँ if we will move in this direction, तो what additional capital will be required in others and how we will be dealing with the minimum requirements. So that is the part. Scenario analysis used in ICAAP must consider event with a frequency of once every 3 years to simulate routines and all. तो यहाँ पे कितना होता है, ये आपका कितना था? Not 3 years, it was a longer period, 15 years or something, 15 or 25, something should be around that. So 1 and 2 means C should be right answer for this one. No one. अच्छा, ये पॉइंट आई गेस सभी लोग मिस किए हैं. सिनेरियो आपका सेवेनिटी एक्सपेक्टेड टू बी रिफ्लेक्ट इवेंट अकरिंग वंस इन 25 ईयर्स. ठीक है, 25 ईयर्स है. ठीक है दीपक सर, इट इज़ 25 ईयर्स आपका, 25 ईयर्स की उसमें सेवेनिटी के बारे में बात हो रही है कि हाँ भैया ऐसे डाउनफॉल यू कैन एक्सपेक्ट इन द मार्केट. सो अकॉर्डिंगली यू हैव टू प्रिपेयर और आपका प्लान थिंग्स अकॉर्डिंगली, राइट? Next one. Which of the following statement are correct regarding the regulatory and accounting consolidation disclosures under RBI framework? So correct regarding the regulatory and accounting consolidation disclosures under the RBI framework. Bank must explain any differences between method of consolidation used under the regulatory scope and under the accounting scope. Then we have entities included in regulatory scope of consolidation are always the same as those who included in accounting. No, it is आपका, it should not be correct आपका consolidation में it should be in आपका incorrect. The third one, method of consolidation for each group entity must be disclosed separately for both regulatory and accounting. Yes, 1 and 3. Do we have 1 and 3? Yes. A should be right answer for the. No, this statement is 100% wrong. It is entities included in regulatory scope of consolidation are same as आपका accounting scope. Accounting के हिसाब से we can have a different meaning, और आपका रेगुलेटरी स्कोप के हिसाब से देयर कैन बी अ डिफरेंट मीनिंग. सो दिस शुड नॉट बी राइट. यस, हाँ बिल्कुल सही. ए, सो रेगुलेटरी एंड अकाउंटिंग एस्पेक्ट कैन डिफर आपका, और ऐसे होते हैं बहुत बार. ठीक है, सो दैट इज अकॉर्डिंगली वी हैव टू मैनेज दोज पर्टिकुलर वन. नेक्स्ट वन, identify the correct statement related to capital adequacy and risk related disclosures. Risk related disclosures bank are required to make. No problem, Deepak sir. So the bank must disclose capital requirements separately for credit, market and operational risk. The second one is bank must provide quantitative summary of their capital planning approaches to support current and future activities. The third one is आपका credit risk disclosure must include both fund based and non-fund based exposures classified by the geography and residual maturity. सारे ही correct हैं क्या? Yes, हाँ बिल्कुल सही दीपक सर. These all statements are correct. All should be right answer for this particular one. Correct है. So when it comes to the disclosure, so it is accordingly this. Next one, select the correct statement pertaining the securitization exposure and held to maturity investment disclosures as per RBI. So securitization exposures for different assets and आपका in bank in our trading book held to maturity. So investment, those we have kept held to maturity. So disclosure about them. So bank must disclose capital requirement for retained securitization exposure in both trading and banking book. STM, held to maturity investment, need not be mark to market. However, excessive transfer from STM may trigger additional disclosure. Third one is when a bank retain exposure to a securitized asset, it must report an associated capital charge by a risk weight band. When a bank retain exposure to securitized asset, बिल्कुल सही. तो ये अगेन आपका आई गेस ऑल शुड बी राइट आंसर फॉर दिस पर्टिकुलर वन. ठीक है, सो सारे ही करेक्टली आपका अलाइंड है इस पर्टिकुलर केस के अंदर भी. यस, so disclosure requirements basically around all these. Next one, okay, so next one we have asset classification and provisioning norm. अब यहाँ पे ना this topic, as you can see, we have only two subtopic. One is asset classification, another one is provisioning norm. So mostly 90% chances are you will get a case study based on NPA. अब NPA case study is one of the easiest one. The only challenge is provisioning norms for standard asset. जो standard assets हैं उनका provisioning याद करना थोड़ा सा आपको वहाँ पे efforts डालने पड़ेंगे, right? तो basically when it comes to the non-performing provisioning, I'll show you the list also, then we will be discussing question. हाँ, तो provisioning in general we have standard asset, they generally range in between 0.25 to आपका 0.40. जहाँ पे मेंशन नहीं है वहाँ पे we apply 0.40 and sometime it can be 2 also. अभी इस पे आएंगे हम लोग, we will come to this particular one in detail. Second आपका सब स्टैंडर्ड एसेट, secured 15%, unsecured 25%. डाउटफुल एसेट आपका unsecured 100% and others category 1, 2, 3. category 1, 2, 3 ये टाइम बैंड आपका, यू हैव टू रिमेंबर दिस टाइम बैंड ऑल्सो, राइट? So category 1 2 3, 1 is 25, मतलब for the secured asset, unsecured it is 100%, secured आपका 10, category 3 में आते हैं 100%. एंड दिस इज स्टैंडर्ड एसेट का पॉइंट. अब दिस इज समथिंग विच इज़ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट वन. तो यहाँ पे ना दिस लिस्ट विल बिकम वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर ऑल ऑफ अस, कि अगर वो देते हैं आपको, ऑब्वियसली इफ दिल गिव यू सम केस स्टडी, वो सीधा का सीधा आपको नहीं देंगे, थोड़ा बहुत आपसे मेहनत कराएंगे. तो दिस पॉइंटर्स आपका कि लाइक this much of standard asset will, I have included one cases 2 or 3 case study in that आपका द PDF आई हैव शेयर्ड विद यू, जिसको हम डिस्कस भी करेंगे लाइव सेशन में. और अभी भी मैं आपको बोलूँगा कल का टाइम आपके पास होगा, जिन एरियाज़ में आपको दिक्कत आ रही है ना, जस्ट डायरेक्टली पिंग मी ऑन व्हाट्सएप, ठीक है. तो मैं मतलब कोशिश करूँगा कि उनके अराउंड और क्वेश्चन, क्योंकि मेरे पास भी आई विल बी ट्रैवलिंग थ्रू द ट्रेन, तो मेरे पास पूरा टाइम होगा, मैं आपके लिए और क्वेश्चन क्रिएट करूँगा और उस एरिया को हम क्लेरिफाई करेंगे. जैसे अभी तक जो था आर्बिट्राज के ऊपर आप लोगों ने दिया था, क्रॉस करेंसी वाला केस एंड अदर्स. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट ऑल्सो इफ़ यू गेट एनीथिंग प्लीज़ डू लेट मी नो. तो ये लिस्ट ना थोड़ा सा इसको आप लोग रिवाइज कीजिएगा, तो दैट विल हेल्प यू आपका समझने में, और कहीं ना कहीं इनसे रिलेटेड जो क्वेश्चंस हैं उनको आपका टैकल करने के लिए, ठीक है. चलो आज बढ़ते हैं आगे. फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन, okay, Deepak sir is saying option A, remaining guys. So income from NPA recognize on accrual basis, नहीं, ये क्या होता है आपका कैश बेसिस, राइट. सो दिस इज आपका गॉट एलिमिनेटेड. तो फर्स्ट तो स्टेटमेंट आपका करेक्ट नहीं होने वाला है. व्हाट वी हैव टू फाइंड आउट, वी हैव टू फाइंड आउट इनकरेक्ट स्टेटमेंट, ठीक है. पहली चीज़ तो दीपक सर वी हैव टू फाइंड आउट इनकरेक्ट स्टेटमेंट. अगर आपने करेक्ट लिया है तो यू नीड टू चेंज योर आंसर, बिकॉज इनकरेक्ट स्टेटमेंट है तो पहला इनकरेक्ट है, तो मीन्स पहला आपका आंसर का पार्ट होना चाहिए. मीन्स आपका ऑप्शन ए विल नॉट द राइट आंसर फॉर दिस वन और नॉट दिस. अब इन दोनों में से एक हमारा करेक्ट आंसर होगा. बैंक मस्ट नॉट चार्ज इंटरेस्ट ऑन एनी NPA, बिल्कुल सही है, इंक्लूडिंग गवर्नमेंट गारंटी एंड ऑल. इंटरेस्ट ऑन एडवांसेस अगेंस्ट NSC, KBP एंड life insurance policies may be taken in to income account due date if adequate margin is available. This is also true. Fee and commission from rescheduling of loan must be recognized entirely upfront. No, entirely upfront नहीं करेंगे, जो आपका डिफ़ॉल्ट डेट है उसके बाद हम लोग करेंगे. accrued interest on NPA प्रीवियसली रिकॉर्डेड, उसको हमें रिवर्स करना होगा, बिल्कुल करना होगा. इंटरेस्ट इनकम ऑन NPA मे बी टेकन इनटू इनकम अकाउंट इवन इफ रिकवरी इज मेड फ्रॉम अ फ्रेश. नो, फ्रेश वाला इज डिफरेंट एंड दिस अकाउंट इज डिफरेंट. तो 235 मीन्स आपका इनकरेक्ट है. तो 146 मीन्स ऑप्शन 6C विल बी राइट आंसर फॉर दिस पर्टिकुलर वन, करेक्ट है. चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. So regarding the computation of NPA and advances, so net advances are calculated by deducting specific item like provision, suspense account balances from gross advances. Floating provision are excluded from net NPA computation. Gross NPA include आपका principal dues of NPA and funded interest term loan parked in sundries account. तो पहला एंड तीसरा should be correct आपका, and second one is wrong because floating they also get included in that particular one. 1 in 3 means option A will be right answer for this. ये आसान था, इतना टाइम क्यों लग रहा है इसमें. नेक्स्ट वन. ओके, एनपीए क्लासिफिकेशन बहुत ही आसान है. प्रीवियस वन देखो दीपक सर, यहाँ पे क्या है, नेट एडवांसेस आर कैलकुलेटेड बाय डिडक्टिंग स्पेसिफिक आइटम लाइक, जैसे अगर हम टोटल एडवांसेस टोटल लोन को अगर हम कर रहे हैं तो दिस इज द वन. सेकंड, फ्लोटिंग प्रोविजन. ठीक है, लेट्स से वी हैव kept some floating provisions, they also included आपका from the net in non-performing आपका computation. Let's say net non-performing assets computation is कि suppose that our net non-performing asset is 100 crore rupees. इसका provision is suppose that all our standard secure asset 15 crores. Out of 15 crores आपका 12 crore is fixed and 3 crore is something which are आपका floating in this one. तो दे विल बी कंप्यूटेड इन दिस वन. इनको हम मतलब दे आर ऑल्सो पार्ट ऑफ द प्रोविजन. वी आर नॉट एक्सक्लूडिंग दोज पर्टिकुलर वन. दे विल बी ऑल्सो पार्ट ऑफ द आपका प्रोविजनिंग कैलकुलेशन. वहाँ पे क्या लिखा था, इट विल नॉट गेट कैलकुलेटेड. So a standard, the next question is a substandard asset is one which remain non-performing for not exceeding 12 months. An asset become doubtful asset immediately upon classified as substandard. No, after 1 year. A loss asset is identified as such by bank, auditor, RBI. Considering uncollectible through it may have some recovery, though it may have some recovery values. Fourth one is advances against NSC and term deposit not required to be classified NPA. No, they required after 90 days. This is wrong. Okay. Next one, a working capital account become NPA if irregular drawing are allowed more than 90 days. True है. Sixth one is asset classification should done facility wise, not it is borrower wise. Agriculture loan for short term crop are classified NPA for 2 crop season. Correct है, short term 2 crop season. Eighth one is government guarantee advances are not classified. Government guarantee advances are not classified as NPA unless the guarantee is repudiated when invoked. This is correct, sorry. 8 should be correct. In consortium advances, asset classification is based on lead bank recovery of lead bank record of recovery alone. No, it is आपका the participating bank also. तो क्या बेटर है, करेक्ट आंसर C. 1 3 5 7 8 1 3 5 7 8 बिल्कुल सही सचिन सर. So option C will be right answer for this particular one. Next one, provisioning. Next one, provisioning. Consider the following statement about the provisioning norm for advances. So loss asset must be written off, otherwise we have to create 100%. True है. A doubtful asset required 100% provisioning portion not covered by the realizable security. बिल्कुल correct है. For doubtful asset secured more than 3 years, provisioning is 25%. कितना होना चाहिए आपका, कैटेगरी 3 में आ जाएगा तो it should be आपका 100%. Wrong है. फोर्थ वन इज सबस्टैंडर्ड अनसिक्योर्ड एसेट अट्रैक्ट 25%, करेक्ट है. इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर लोन क्लासिफाइड एज सबस्टैंडर्ड 20%. Provisioning if proper escrow mechanism is exist, yes. Sixth one is unsecured exposure where the realizable security is 15%. Exposure are treated as secured. No, it is आपका कितना था? Not 15%, it is less than equal to 10%. Less than equal to 20%. It should be wrong. The seventh one is standard asset in commercial real estate. Residential housing 0.75%, करेक्ट है. एडवांस रीस्ट्रक्चर्ड बाय RBI 5%, करेक्ट है. हाउसिंग लोन एट टीजर 2% इनिशियली, लेटर ऑन सेकेंड ईयर ऑनवर्ड्स आपका 0.40%. तो 1 2 4 5 1 2 4 5 7 8 9 मीन्स ऑप्शन ए विल बी राइट. डी आपका क्यों कह रहे हैं आप लोग? 1 2 4, अच्छा दोनों सेम है क्या? नहीं, 6 इज रॉन्ग ना. 6 is wrong. Unsecured exposure where the realizable securities it should be less than equal to 10%, not the 15%. A should be right answer, yes. Sixth statement is wrong. If realizable value is less than equal to 10%, the exposure is unsecured. At 15% it is considered secured. तो हमारा क्वेश्चन क्या था? आपका अनसिक्योर्ड, हाँ, सो इट इज अनसिक्योर्ड वैल्यूएशन है उसके ऊपर, राइट. नेक्स्ट वन स्टैंडर्ड एसेट का ही है. प्रोविजनिंग फॉर कंट्री रिस्क, सॉरी, प्रोविजनिंग फॉर कंट्री रिस्क, प्रोविजनिंग फॉर कंट्री रिस्क. सो बैंक मस्ट make provision on net funded country exposure on graded scale ranging from 0.2 to 100%, correct है. Second one, provisioning requirement for country under the moderate B1 category is 5%. This is also correct. RBI list as per the RBI one, ठीक है. Third one is for a country classified आपका C2 restricted, it is 100%, not 25%. Restricted आपका 100%. The fourth one is country net funded exposure is 1% or more than more of bank total asset if make provision for a country risk. If a country's net funded exposure is 1% or more bank total asset, it must make provision for the country. Yes, true है. Next one is bank can use their provisioning buffer for specific provision for NPA during system downturn prior RBI approvals. बिल्कुल सही है. Bank are required to disclose their provisioning for country risk in cash, no, cash flow statement नहीं, it is आपका note to accounts, ठीक है. It is आपका note to accounts में, schedule 18 आपका note to accounts, not आप cash flow statement इस बैंक के लिए होता ही नहीं वैसे. The provisioning for country under law A2 is 0.25. It is आपका 0.2. ये थोड़ा सा एडिशनली आपको याद करने पड़ेंगे. आई नो कि बहुत सारे लोग इसमें मिस कर रहे होंगे. यस, तो कौन सा सही बैठ रहा है? 1 2 4 5 मीन्स ऑप्शन डी शुड बी राइट आंसर फॉर दिस. तो कंट्री वाइज आपका रेटिंग्स और द प्रोविजनिंग चार्ट विच इज़ प्रोवाइडेड बाय RBI, दैट इज़ ऑल्सो इम्पॉर्टेंट इन दिस पर्टिकुलर केस. नेक्स्ट वन, ऑलराइट. चलो एक और क्वेश्चन करते हैं आपका. नेक्स्ट वन, प्रोविजनिंग के अराउंड. हाँ, थोड़ा देखो देखो दीपक सर, जैसे हमें डोमेस्टिक में एक्चुअली हम लोग उस चीज़ में डील करते हैं तो इसलिए थोड़ा सा उसके साथ यूज टू हो जाते हैं. बट इट इज़ समथिंग कि जो प्रोविजंस आपके हैं एक्सपोजर्स में, लाइक इफ़ यू आर मेंटेनिंग दोज पर्टिकुलर एक्सपोजर्स, तो RBI हैव सर्टेन गाइडलाइंस, वो दैट इज़ द लिस्ट. So first one is true regarding the framework for resolution of stress asset as per the RBI guidelines. Lenders must classify asset as SMA immediately upon default. बिल्कुल सही है पहला स्टेटमेंट, ठीक है. सो अगर उसने EMI ड्यू आपका बाउंस किया तो हम उसको SMA 0 में डाल देंगे. SMA 2 classified when principal or interest remain overdue 91 to 60 61 to 90 days. तो फाइनल कैटेगरी अंडर SMA, तो SMA 0, SMA 1, SMA 2 करेक्ट है. नेक्स्ट वन, resolution plan RP must be implemented within 180 days. अब ये पिछले याद है आप लोगों को, फ्रॉम द एंड ऑफ रिव्यू पीरियड. RP आपका 180 डेज का ही होता है. ठीक है, लास्ट टाइम ऑल्सो ABM डिस्कस किया था, इसको याद है थोड़ा बहुत तो हेल्प करेगा. द इंटर क्रेडिटर एग्रीमेंट ICA require approval from lender representing 80% of total outstanding value or 75% in numbers. This also correct. If a resolution plan is not implemented within 365 days, commencement of review period, an additional provision of 15% is required. Independent credit evaluation is required only if the resolution plan involve a sale of the borrowing asset. Independent ICE का क्वालिफिकेशन इज समथिंग अब सम इन अमाउंट आपका 10 करोड़ और 100 करोड़. इन 10 करोड़ और 100 करोड़ आपका दैट इज द वैल्यू इज रिक्वायर्ड हियर. सो विल चेक दिस वन. If that loan is, the exposure is आपका above that, then we go for this. Lender must make monthly report on central CRILC on all borrowers with an exposure of 5 crore. Yes, तो हाँ बिल्कुल सही. 1 आपका should be right answer for this one. It is 100 crores. ठीक है. So ICE is required if RP involve restructuring or change in the ownership of an account with exposure of 100 crore and above, not just this. So that's why option A only is the right answer for this particular one. Correct है. Next one. So correctly align with RBI asset classification under classification norms related to borrower wise NPA recognition and treatment of derivative exposures. Okay, everyone is saying option B. If a single loan facility extended to a borrower irregular, only that facility shall be classified as NPA without affecting other loan or investment made to same borrowers. आपका if a loan, what we have to find out? Single loan, हाँ, तो borrower will be classified as NPA in this case, right? Borrower wise आपका होगा ना, not facility wise. So when a derivative contract shows a positive M2M value and remain unpaid over 90 days, become NPA. True है. Third one is आपका if document under LC are disowned and borrower does not reimburse the bank discounted bill under the LC shall be classified NPA. The date other credit facilities borrowers were classified as NPA, right? So 2 and 3 means option B will be right answer for this particular one, correct? Next one. So several loan accounts under different scenario. Evaluate this one. So account A. So account A is आपका a borrower under the consortium arrangement remit all repayments to the lead bank while failed to distribute funds to other member banks. Bank Y, only one of the member banks has not received more than 90 days. तो ये क्या हो जाएगा? NPA हो जाएगा, ठीक है? So your account A is NPA in this case. Second one आपका account B. When it comes to account B, a commercial bank sanction and advances to PACS for short duration crop. One of the facility has been defaulted for more than 2 crop season. Other facilities remain आपका 10. तो अगेन आपका ये क्या हो जाएगा? NPA होगा, but it is PACS for the short term duration crop. One facility of this will be also NPA आपका, ठीक है? यहाँ पे भी we have a case of NPA only, right? इसमें कुछ और है, आप लोग एक बार देख बताइएगा. Third one is a borrower has committed fraud and realizable value of the security has dropped to 8% of outstanding dues. The bank evaluating provisioning treatment and classification. तो 8% से नीचे है, 10% लेस देन इक्वल टू 10%, तो ये किस में आएगा? लॉस एसेट के अंदर आना चाहिए. अभी हमने इस पर डिस्कशन किया था, ठीक है? नेक्स्ट वन डी आपका, अ टर्म लोन इज बैक्ड बाय एन NSE with a sufficient margin maintained. The borrower has not made आपका payment in 150 days. तो टर्म लोन NSE के द्वारा, अब टर्म लोन NSE के ऊपर बैक है, तो दिस विल बी आपका NSE है, तो ये आपका नॉट नॉन परफॉर्मिंग होना चाहिए, राइट? सो इट शुड नॉट बी नॉन परफॉर्मिंग. ई आपका a housing loan was extended to staff member with special arrangement. Interest recovery began after the full principal has been repaid. Interest has been debited quarterly interest has been debited quarterly for last year but not paid. तो not paid है. A housing loan was extended to a staff member with a special arrangement. Interest recovery become after the full principal payment of this. Interest has not been debited quarterly for last year but not paid. Interest has been debited quarterly for last year but not paid. Last one, what you suggest guys? Not NPA. Okay, आप लोग क्या कह रहे हैं? स्टेटमेंट 1. सो आपका पहला है NPA, बिल्कुल है. दूसरा इज क्लासिफाइड ओनली डिफ़ॉल्ट फैसिलिटी आपका NPA. नॉन लॉस एसेट आपका है. दिस इज हाँ नॉन NPA है, बिल्कुल करेक्ट है ये, नॉन NPA. तो फोर्थ वन आपका इट इज़ नॉट NPA. ओके, दिस देयर इज सम प्रोविजनिंग फॉर दिस वन. हाँ, आई जस्ट need to check this last step. For staff housing loan with interest recovery deferred till principal payments, interest is in overdue until due date, not classified as NPA. So that was the case. Very good. Next one. Okay, liquidity management. So next unit is आपका liquidity management. So dimension and role of liquidity management, measuring and managing liquidity risk. Very easy one. So when it comes to type of liquidity risk, we have call risk, funding risk and time risk. ये मॉड्यूल बी आपका अगेन सेम. So call risk आपका, time risk basically non-receipt of expected inflows of funds. Call risk आपका crystallization of your आपका contingent liabilities, right? So in this particular one, and now I'll come to the question. तो मॉड्यूल बी से आपका ये रिविजन होगा, प्रैक्टिस मतलब यहाँ पे यू जस्ट हैव टू डू द प्रैक्टिस. 100% सेम थिंग, इवन इफ you'll match the content also na, so that is also 100% aligned. So liquidity risk is an extraordinary event that arise only during the financial crisis. And this second one, Basel III introduced the liquidity coverage ratio and NSFR especially to address liquidity risk in bank. Bank is considered to have adequate liquidity if it can meet increase in asset and decrease in liabilities promptly and reasonable cost. 2 and 3 means option B will be right answer for this particular one. Correct है, आसान था. Next one, ABC Bank, a mid-sized Indian commercial bank with operation in domestic and foreign currency market, faced sudden deterioration in liquidity. The situation आपका develop as these. The first one, a major borrower defaulted 300 crores loan, turning a standard asset into non-performing. Simultaneously, आपका fraudulent transaction 200 crores were discovered, sinking public trust. Due to widespread news of the fraud, several high-value depositors initiated premature withdrawals. And wholesale deposit worth 500 crores was not renewed. Then next one, आपका foreign bank expecting fund from ABC Bank currency swap failed to receive the payments, impacting on liquidity chain. Rumor in international market led foreign creditors to demand early settlement of USD liabilities and all, right? So अब यहाँ पे क्या क्या challenges this bank is basically facing. So what will be your correct answer? The first situation, a major borrower defaulted. अब इनका जो फंडिंग सोर्स है, ठीक है, सो मतलब बेसिकली इट इज इन जनरल इट इज आपका क्रेडिट, बट व्हेन इट इज ऑल अबाउट आपका लिक्विडिटी. तो लिक्विडिटी को हाउ दिस विल इम्पैक्ट थ्रू द आपका फंडिंग. एंड द सेकेंड वन, साइमल्टेनियसली फ्रॉडेंट ट्रांजेक्शन 200 crores से आपका दिस ट्रस्ट टाइम इज आपका साइमल्टेनियसली अ फ्रॉडेंट ट्रांजेक्शन of 500 crores. News in this fraudulent transaction of 200 crores was discovered. This is something about the reputation. Contingent is funding risk is there. Basically in both the cases they'll face this one. Widespread news, आपका high value depositor initiated premature again funding. आपका foreign bank expecting fund from the ABC Bank currency swap and payments आपका impacting the liquidity, times हो जाएगा. Call risk, is there any contingent related areas? Rumor of in this one led to the early settlements of liabilities. हाँ, okay. All correct should be right answer in this. Rajan sir is saying C, and C means 1 2. Rumors in international market led foreign creditors to demand early settlement of USD liabilities, which struggle bank forex. आपका basically call risk is about your आपका contingent liabilities which may occur in future. And आपका, do we have any contingent liabilities in this case? any guarantee and all. हाँ, 1 and 2 should be right answer now. एक बार इसका आंसर चेक. 1 and 2 should. Call risk is about the contingent liabilities and there is no contingent liability, right? Scientists rodents this due to satisfy news and this and हाँ, call and funding ही होना चाहिए इसका, मतलब basically sorry time and आपका this, but this call risk was I'm doubtful about this. What you suggest guys? Sachin sir is saying D. एक बार आंसर देख लेते. ओके, इसका आंसर भी नहीं है, कहीं पे कुछ कॉपी पेस्ट में गड़बड़ हुआ है. जस्ट अ मिनट. नो चलो, I'll check the answer for this one. Actually इस स्लाइड में इसका आंसर मिसिंग है, तो I'll check the answer of this and then I'll add here. हाँ, next one I'll add in PDF, sorry. Statement regarding the liquidity risk management in bank are correct. ठीक है, तो पहला इज रॉन्ग, सेकेंड एंड थर्ड इज ट्रू, सो ऑप्शन बी विल बी राइट आंसर फॉर दिस पर्टिकुलर वन. वेरी इजी वन, यहाँ पे कोई चैलेंज नहीं होगा आई गेस. नेक्स्ट वन, regarding the treatment of foreign currencies in liability management by bank. Foreign currencies in liability management in bank. So bank operating in multiple currencies face complexity in liquidity management due to both operational decentralization and potential information asymmetry in a foreign market. Second one is a fully centralized liquidity management approach allow each foreign office to manage its own liquidity independently. No, अगर fully centralized है तो this is आपका wrong हो जाएगा. If foreign exchange market cease to function, the bank capacity to convert domestic fund into foreign currency become critical part of the contingency strategy. 1 and 3 means आपका option A. Option A, yes, बिल्कुल option A will be right answer for this one. Next one, which of the following statement are correct with respect to the setting of tolerance level and limit for liquidity by bank? Set limit आपका cumulative cash flows mismatch as a percentage of total liability over various time horizon. Liquid assets used for calculating liquidity coverage should be based on book value without discounting as they are expected to retain value. Liquid asset used to calculating liquidity coverage should be based on आपका book value. No, we have to use आपका haircut, so depend on the asset, so asset to asset, and we have to use some sort of haircut. This should be wrong. Limit on loan to capital आपका ratio and loan to deposit ratio are among the parameters used to manage liquidity. Loan to capital, loan to deposit, yes. So 1 and 3 means option A should be right answer for this particular one. Next one, guys. So correct regarding assumption and categorization of bank asset for liquidity analysis. Bank may choose to refuse non-binding lending commitment in crisis situation to conserve liquidity, even if they strain customer relationship. Second one is classification of asset quality, asset liquidity may vary between bank due to differing internal asset liability management practices and market access. A bank typically assume that assets such as premises and investment in subsidiaries fall under the most liquid note. ठीक है, they are आपका less liquid. 1 and 2 means option C should be right answer for this particular one. Correct है? Why not answer, guys? आंसर क्यों नहीं कर रहे हो? Yes, हाँ बिल्कुल सही सचिन सर. Next one. So which of the following statement are correct in the context of liquidity management techniques and contingency planning? So bank should rely heavily on new trusted fund providers as it reduce operational burden during the liquidity stress. Frequency of use and contact with funding sources are considered indicators of the strength of funding relationship, including loan sale clauses in loan document, and hence bank ability to execute asset sale in adverse condition. बिल्कुल से. तो basically these two should be right and this is आपका wrong. 2 and 3. B, yes, हाँ बिल्कुल राजेंद्र sir. Option B will be right answer for this one. Bank should avoid excessive reliance on new funding sources because अभी उतना ज़्यादा trust we do not have that much of trust with these particular or the new funders and all. Okay, next one. Interest rate management. Again module B आपका. So this is something kind of a revision, complete revision guys. तो सेम चीज़ आपको वहाँ पे भी मिलेगी. द ओनली थिंग इज इट इज़ समथिंग अराउंड द बैलेंस शीट एरियाज इन ऑल. तो बैलेंस शीट में हाउ दीज पर्टिकुलर थिंग्स आर जनरली इम्पैक्टिंग द ओवरऑल एरियाज इन ऑल. तो एक बार इसको रिवाइज कीजिएगा जल्दी से. देन आपका देन यू कैन डायरेक्टली कम टू द क्वेश्चंस. तो हम लोग क्वेश्चन से स्टार्ट करेंगे. Okay, the first question. ABC Bank has a positive net interest position with a significantly higher volume of interest earning asset compared to its interest bearing liabilities. Recently market interest rate have fallen sharply. Due to the same period, many ABC Bank retail borrowers opted to repay their fixed rate home loan, and noticeable numbers of depositors prematurely withdraw their fixed deposit, taking in advantages of newer or more liquid scheme offered by the other bank. Which of the following risk ABC Bank likely to face in the scenario, and how would affect the NII of the bank itself? The first one, net interest position. A fallen interest rate will reduce NII due to structure of ABC Bank balance sheet. बिल्कुल करेगा. Second one is embedded option, prepayment of loan, premature withdrawals reduce the interest income and increase reinvestment risk आपका. Yes. Credit risk, since customer are prepaying, so the bank is exposed to higher default risk. No, this is wrong. ठीक है. Customer are prepaying the loan. ठीक है. There is no credit risk. 1 and 2 means आपका option C. Rukmani ma'am, how come D? Huh? Rukmani ma'am, side by side she is cooking or she is having dinner. Huh? All of the above. No. ठीक है. Credit risk is not. Since customer are prepaying, So how come आपका there is no, the customer is making आपका prepayments and all, so there is no default chances and all, right? Correct है? Understood? Next one. Which of the following statement regarding the impact of interest rate risk on bank correct? Interest rate risk on bank correct. So, under the earning perspective, interest rate sensitivity is assessed by observing changes primarily in non interest income as it directly reflects market fluctuation. Under the earning perspective, interest rate sensitivity is assessed by observing changes primarily in interest income. आपका non interest income नहीं, तो this should be wrong. The economic value perspective, consider the present value of expected net cash flow from asset, liabilities, and balance sheet exposures position to evaluating long-term impact of interest rate movements. A rise in market interest rate result in markdown of the book value of fixed income investment like government bonds and this. तो 2 and 3 आपका मीन्स बी. आज हमारे ज़्यादातर आंसर बी हैं क्या? ऑप्शन बी विल बी राइट आंसर बिकॉज the earning perspective primarily focus on net interest income, not on non interest income, while non interest income also consider आपका traditional way in this one. Next one. Which of the following statement regarding measurement of interest rate risk in bank So a bank must measure interest rate risk to understand the extent of risk exposure and design appropriate risk strategies. A bank interest rate risk measurement should only focus on balance sheet position, as off balance sheet exposure are not materially affected. No, on and off balance sheet both होना चाहिए था यहाँ पे. Measurement techniques of for interest rate risk आपका basic method like statics simulations on to advances dynamic models and considering the business facilities and all, right? So option A, what do you suggest? Yes. So off balance sheet आपका देखो आप when it comes to off balance sheet exposures, mostly the income sources are generally your guarantee or LC and others. But see, the underlying आपका underline of all these particular assets ना, they are having some sort of direct indirect link with these particular tools. Like let's say even in derivatives also, if derivative, the price movement in the underlying which will affect आपका the interest rate, and the overall position pricing will be depend on that particular one. So indirectly they are linked with this one. Okay. So let's say if interest movements is there in the underlying, so that will affect the overall pricing of that particular derivative, or else like in other cases also if you are going through, so they do have indirect impact on these one. Okay, Deepak sir is saying option A. Which of the following आपका regarding the RBI guidelines on interest rate risk in banking book IRRBB is correct? Interest rate risk in banking book can affect bank earning and market value of equity due to changes in timing and present value of future cash flows. बिल्कुल कर सकता है. Second one, RBI permit bank actively trade in held in banking book to manage IRB. No, that is not allowed, I guess. The third one is bank must assess behavioral pattern of non-maturity deposit like saving accounts, current account for appropriate bucketing under the interest rate sensitivity analysis and all. तो 1 and 3 A आपका बिल्कुल सही है. Because option A, so RBI does not permit trading in securities held in banking book to manage the IRRBP. Right. Next one. Okay. So A was the right answer. Next one. I guess this is the last final subtopic for final topic. So we have RAROC and profit planning. RAROC and profit planning. So objective profit planning tool. One question around this. Another question is around आपका RAROC and economic capital. So RAROC, this is something which is very very important one. Earlier we used to have ROA and ROE. पहले हम लोग आपका टूल यूज़ करते हैं रिटर्न ऑन एसेट, रिटर्न ऑन इक्विटी. तो ये जो टूल हैं अभी भी यूज होते हैं, ऐसा नहीं है, बट दे आपका दे टेल द सिनेरियो एट द एंटायर बैंक लेवल. ठीक है, तो पूरे बैंक लेवल पे आपको चीज़ों को बता रहे होते हैं. ठीक है. सो बट व्हेन इट कम्स टू RAROC, दिस इज समथिंग, पहले यूनिट में भी हमने इसका जिक्र किया था. इट इज़ समथिंग which help us to know the efficiency at the business line. So as per BCBS we have 8 business line. Under business line we have sub categories and others. तो हर एक एक्टिविटी लेवल तक का आपका रिस्क, रिटर्न एंड कैपिटल इन्वॉल्वमेंट और उसके हिसाब से जो राइट डिसीजन है वो कैसे हो सकते हैं, दैट इज़ वी गेट टू नो विद दिस वन. तो रिस्क मैनेजमेंट एंड कैपिटल एलोकेशन आर द कोर ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर वन अलॉन्ग विद परफॉर्मेंस मैनेजमेंट. ठीक है, तो रिस्क एंड कैपिटल, हाँ यहाँ पे लिखा है परफॉर्मेंस, आपका परफॉर्मेंस मेजरमेंट ऑल्सो कि हाउ मच रिटर्न वी आर गेटिंग फ्रॉम दिस वन. बहुत ही छोटा सा टॉपिक है. अनदर साइड आपका द प्रीवियस साइड एक्चुअली द फर्स्ट वन प्रॉफिट प्लानिंग. तो फॉर प्रॉफिट वी हैव 6 कॉम्पोनेंट. तो बेसिकली आपका जो ओवरऑल एक्टिविटीज़ होती है बैंक लेवल पे, फर्स्ट 3 एक्टिविटीज़ आपका इंटरेस्ट इनकम, फी बेस इनकम, ट्रेडिंग इनकम, सोर्सेज ऑफ इनकम, एंड दीज आर आपका सोर्सेज ऑफ एक्सपेंसेस. एंड तो बेसिकली व्हाट वी जनरली, दीज आर इंटरलिंक. अगर आप इनको बढ़ाएंगे दे विल ऑटोमेटिकली इंक्रीज. तो हाउ टू मेक अ ऑप्टिमम डिसीजन, दैट इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट गेम. Because if you want to increase interest income, that means you have to expand your business. That will already, you have to take deposit आपका, इंटरेस्ट एक्सपेंस बढ़ेगा, स्टाफ बढ़ेगा एक्सपेंस, अदर ऑपरेटिंग बढ़ेगा. तो इंटरलिंक है, बट हाउ यू आर मेकिंग अ बैलेंस, दैट इज़ अ काइंड ऑफ अ इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग. इकोनॉमिक कैपिटल विच इज़ कैपिटल एम्प्लॉयड बाय द बैंक इन देयर ओवरऑल बिजनेसेस एंड ऑल. सो जिसमें आपका रिस्क कैपिटल भी होना चाहिए सा. तो रिस्क कैपिटल कितना पैसा हम इन्वेस्ट करें, हाउ मच रिटर्न वी आर गेटिंग फ्रॉम दैट पर्टिकुलर वन, दैट इज समथिंग which is part of this one. चलो अब प्रैक्टिस करते हैं एक बार. Which of the following statement correct regarding the profitability and income expenditure management of bank? A higher proportion of investment in government securities generally lead to impose interest income due to their lower risk and higher yield compared to the credit portfolios. A higher proportion of investment in government securities generally lead to improve interest income. देखो government securities में return is lower side due to lower risk is lower but the yield is आपका also low, right? तो return is also low. Treasury income through potential high yielding, though potentially high yielding, is speculative in nature and can lead to significant losses. बिल्कुल leverage based trading. Non performing asset negatively impact both income and this. तो 2 and 3 आपका option B is the right answer for this one. कुछ तो alignment में गड़बड़ हुआ है क्या? मैक्सिमम क्वेश्चन हमारे B की तरफ जा रहे हैं. So, true regarding the risk aggregation and capital allocation in bank. So, a bank using RAROC approach differentiate between expected and unexpected losses, allocating primarily to cover expected losses. ठीक है, तो क्या होना चाहिए यहाँ पे आपका आंसर? हाँ, तो unexpected losses should also cover ना in this one. They should be wrong. RAROC enable bank to assess performance across different business line standardized measure. Using RAROC approach, the capital allocation is linked to the standard deviation of frequency distribution written. Yes. तो 2 and 3 again B आपका. Yes, हाँ ठीक है. Sorry, I just missed this one. चलो, option B आपका, that is the right answer for this particular one. Next one. Which of the following statement correct with reference to concept of economic capital in RAROC? So RAROC provide more risk sensitive measure of performance compared to traditional measure ROA and ROE. The risk capital used in RAROC account for only market risk and ignore operational and credit risk. It provide for all also. The bond traders, despite larger volume, may demonstrate better risk adjusted return than the forex आपका. There was one case also where we have discussed this. The option A will be right answer for this particular one. Correct है? चलो, next one. So deregulation in the Indian banking sector began after the recommendations of the Narsimham Committee in 1991, which is 100% true. Small finance bank, private bank, they are categorized differentiated bank under RBI framework. DFIs like NEFITs function similar to no 1 and 2. There is आपका ना this NEFIT is given in your curriculum. I don't know how and why they have put this particular one in this topic. But लास्ट में उन्होंने ना आपका DFI एंड नेफिट का एक इंट्रोडक्शन दिया है, ठीक है. सो दैट कैन बी थोड़ा सा एक बार उसको रिवाइज कीजिएगा. एंड दैट इज़ द ओनली DFI यू विल सी इन योर एंटायर करिकुलम. Which of the following statement regarding the evolving banking landscape and financial institution in India are correct? So, as mergers in public sector bank include amalgamation of Bharatiya Mahila Bank and associate with the State Bank of India, Indian Bank increasingly focusing on profitability, innovation, product and technological upgradation. आपका this is also true. So both means option C should be right answer for this particular one. Correct. Next one. Okay, this is it. तो ये हमारा आपका ओवरऑल मॉड्यूल सी, ठीक है. तो एक बार थोड़ा सा रिवाइज कीजिएगा, जस्ट रिवाइज. आई विल अपलोड दिस PDF कॉन्सेप्ट और अदर्स, इसको रिवाइज करें. एंड कल एक्चुअली टुनाइट आई विल टेक अ ट्रेन अराउंड 3 o'clock और 4 o'clock एंड आई विल बी रीचिंग 6 अर्ली मॉर्निंग. तो 6 को आई विल बी कंडक्टिंग वन सेशन आपका एट 6 o'clock और 7 o'clock ओनली फॉर द न्यूमेरिकल पोर्शन एंड देन सेकेंड हाफ आपका द ओवरऑल रिविजन, ठीक है. न्यूमेरिकल्स में द PDF आई हैव शेयर्ड विद यू विल बी डिस्कसिंग दोज क्वेश्चन ऑल्सो एंड वन अनदर सेट ऑफ क्वेश्चन, ठीक है. सो उनको एक बार देखिएगा. पार्टिसिपेशन ऑफ नेफिट एज इन AIFI, ओके, एंड RBI सर्कुलर्स एंड ऑल, ओके, ठीक है दीपक सर. चलो तो हाँ, नहीं इवनिंग आई लीव टुनाइट आपका 3 o'clock और 4 o'clock आई हैव अ ट्रेन. देन आई विल बी एक्चुअली वी हैव पेड विद अस, सो वी हैव टू ट्रैवल थ्रू द ट्रेन ओनली. देन आई विल बी रीचिंग आपका 6th अर्ली मॉर्निंग, 6 o'clock आई विल रीच बेंगलुरु. देन इवनिंग आपका विल बी डूइंग वन सेशन, मैराथन सेशन. हाँ डेफिनेटली सैटरडे टेकिंग लीव फॉर प्रिपरेशन. दीपक सर हाँ, so do revise this. हाँ, tomorrow I won't be able, I'll be available on आपका ऐप और on आपका the mobile phone, ठीक है. whatever if you need anything you can just ping me or doubt and everything. ट्रेन में मेरा भी टाइम पास हो जाएगा एंड आप लोगों का भी हेल्प हो जाएगा. बट सेशन विल बी टेकिंग आपका डे आफ्टर टुमारो, ठीक है, सैटरडे आपका. सचिन सर. All right, chalo. So I'll be uploading this PDF just now and do revise things. And if you get anything, so please do let me know so I can help you out with this particular one. All right, chalo. So this is it. Thank you for joining this session.